Joining me now is Larry Yu with George Washington University here in Washington, D.C. He's a professor of hospitality management and faculty director of the Master of Tourism Administration program. So, Larry, we know that domestic tourism in China has boomed in recent years because of the growing middle class, but now we're hearing that winter tourism is also expected to increase by 20% by next year. So what is behind that increase?
Yes, the main driver for what they call the ice and snow tourism is really coming from the strategy actually the government has been promoting, and for the healthy plan for China 2030, and so to get people out to enjoy the nature. And in the northeastern part of China, and the ice and the snow is really one of their resources, and they can leverage for tourism development. And so in that sense, Harbin, as the show shown earlier, did an excellent job in that particular regard to get people out in the winter time and also at night. And this is another trend in China now to promote tourism. They call the night economy. And so the concert is also part of it, as shown in the segment. And so for the winter tourism, we call winter tourism, and people do to enjoy, and it's a wonderland, and it's almost a big theme park now for Harbin. But then there's also more active sporting in Harbin as well, skiing and some other sport-related business.
And I was going to ask you, with the the addition of the Beijing Winter Games and all the winter sports that go along with it, how will that impact all of this? With more people and children becoming interested in winter sports themselves?
That's an excellent question. The Olympic movement always inspires people, and especially the younger generation. And so that's pretty much a key driver to this whole winter sport. And secondly, the generation, the millennials, who are intense experience seekers. And so they just want to experience travel and physical activity differently, not as a sightseeing, a passive sightseeing takers, but rather experience seekers. And so they like to enjoy those physical exercise. And so that's also part of the government strategy to push the population to be more active in physical exercise.
We have about a minute left. With Chinese New Year also every year happening in the winter, how does that play into this as well, with people wanting to travel during the Chinese New Year holiday instead of being at home?
Yep, that's also a good way to actually balance the traffic to some of the very crowded historical sites, for instance. And so more and more people will go to Harbin, will go to Liaoning, and so those are northeastern part of the Chinese provinces. And so that will also, redistribute some of the traffics, and for people to enjoy the natural wonders in the winter time. And also more people will go to the ski resorts and to experience the active sports. And because China really want to push in this healthy plan to raise the national life expectancy from the current 76.5 to 79 by 2030.
All right, Larry Yu, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.